Hello and welcome to All I Do Is You Can Fly to 9 countries in the world now from the UK and not need to quarantine. They are countries such as San Marino and Gibraltar. Basically, all the countries that England plays in Euro friendlies, you're allowed to fly to.
Good thing. Don't have to miss out on those big Euro friendlies when you've got Danny Ings scoring a brace and people are like, he could be our secret weapon going into the World Cup.
Yeah.
Because we've getting a lot of plumbers from Gibraltar 9-0.
The FA are having a word with government about what countries we're still allowed to fly to, and it's all dependent on what friendlies we've got coming up in the lead up to the Euros. Yeah. So come on, guys, San Marino again. I can't wait. Yeah, you are down to 9 countries, ladies and gentlemen. I think Italy's still on the list, but that's about the only one you'd really want to go to.
Italy would be good for the food and the weather, but yeah, I've yet to receive. By the way, Ali was, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for introducing me, Tom. Here we are. So San Marino, I've never had that text from the lads being like, boys, all inclusive at San Marino, mate. It's sick. There's 9 of us. There's only 200,000 of them. We'll meet everyone. It's gonna be lit.
Nuts.
Did you see when
their nightclubs are mental?
Yeah, that's the reason they can do social distancing, because there's no one there. Did you see when San Marino scored the first goal for like 3 years in football?
They had a meltdown.
It was like, you ever watch those sort of preacher videos where people are like just losing their minds and crying and like it was like that with like 11 men on the pitch and all the people on the side were like, I can't believe it. This is a miracle. It's amazing.
Unbelievable scenes.
Yeah.
No, it was like, I remember, what was it? It was one of like the Pacific Islands playing Spain in some random when it was like Consortium Cup of the World or whatever. Spain beat them like 11-1, but like when they scored that one goal, it was absolutely like they'll be making films about that on that Pacific Island.
There was a film. I haven't watched it, but it's Next Goal Wins. But it's about it's about American Samoa. It might be that team who were the worst ranked football team in the world. Yeah. And about how, because it was called Next Goal Wins because they were just trying to score a goal.
They did. It was 11-1. I remember the game against Spain. I imagine in that film it's just a load of maybe like Samoan dudes also playing the Spanish team, like like a low budget.
They might as well send the rugby team down, and they're Samoan guys. Fucking, I'd be all that. Anyway, I'm just going to take my jumper off because this chat has already been too hot to handle.
This is what the viewers pay for. Oh, naughty.
So I thought we were going to change our names this week to Leftist Cucks.
Oh.
What happened to that? First comment for a while on the YouTube.
Thank you.
The YouTube strategy working well. You will be pleased to hear. Ali XFS. Bit annoyed he was called Ali as well.
Well,
I don't know what the XFS stands for. It's like special effects company.
I said when that man, I say man, could have been a girl. Who knows?
It's definitely a man, 100%. There is no doubt. As if a woman with a sane mind is saying leftist cucks. It's definitely going to be a bloke. 100% sure. The video had 4 views when he commented on it. The thing is, it had an average watch time. So it's like a 5-minute clip about Jim Davison from last week, and it had an average watch time of like 2.5 minutes. So I assume he did watch some of it. I thought maybe but he must have watched some of it, like the old. The guy who commented on the Lance Armstrong video.
Oh yeah,
I hate watching. He was so annoyed. We hadn't started talking about Lance Armstrong until 17 minutes, and I was like, "It's a 30-minute video. If you've gotten to minute 15, 16, and they're still not chatting about Lance Armstrong, why are you still watching? If you're just there for the Armstrong bit." But anyway, Leftist Cucks, I think, would be a good name. If you like that name, listeners, let us know. I think Leftist Cucks, the Leftist Cucks.
I took some offense. Like, all right, okay, we're left leaning, but I always said that we're what we would call centrist or rational left as a podcast. Yeah, like we would say, like I said, if Keir Starmer had a podcast, that's our vibe. That's what we're going for here. That's
But I don't know. I think I'm actually Tom, I think actually very woke and progressive, and I think I actually sort of yeah, I mean there's like a right answer and a wrong answer to that, isn't there? Like left is right, like you know what I mean? Like so, you know, right is just like racist and homophobic and sexist and all that. And like the thing is with me is that I don't even go on about it. I don't even go on
Yeah.
about it. Like it's just one of those things about me.
I
Like
don't.
I'm just really accepting of everyone, you know?
I literally don't want anyone to know how leftist I am. That's the real problem. You
I
know,
keep
it's
it
just I
shum.
keep it completely to myself. You
Just,
know,
I don't want people to go on like, oh, have you seen like what Ali thinks of the world? Like he's so like
progressive.
interesting and
I love him.
progressive. Like, oh my
Yeah.
god, like people do say that. Like I'm not saying they don't, but I'm just saying with me that like that's not. I don't want to be advertising that. You know.
Yeah, It's I don't know. Look,
I
look,
had with that I had this is more so just I had so I had a call with a friend at 1 a.m. on a Saturday night, right?
a friend.
Which is
Is that
not,
what you
yeah.
call her? Yeah.
Genuinely,
Do they charge by the minute or what? What's the vibe?
from a payphone. I found the
Yeah,
only payphone left in London. It's
yeah.
in Waterloo down a back alley.
Yeah, and it was one of those cards from inside the payphone, like all that love.
She told me she was a friend.
Yeah.
That's what I paid her to say. She was like, "What do you want to do to me?" And I was like, "Give you a hug." And
Yeah.
you know, she said she was angry at me, and she said that I didn't need to go so all out with comedy all the time. I need to find more balance in my life. And she's sorry that I'm a straight white man who's had no adversity, but I don't need to make this my struggle. And I was like, oh God.
What a slap down. Okay.
What do you say to
Oh,
that? What do you say?
fuck.
I did take offense. I was like, "How dare you? It's like my
Yeah.
literal dream. It's not, I'm not doing it so that I can be
The
like
thing-
when people are like, yeah, it's so hard being black and gay in this country, and they're like, I know what you mean. I did this gig down in Stockport the other day for 10 minutes, died on my ass, but I got to go home. It was all fine.
Well, Ali, you know, we're obviously in different ball games. You know, I'm living with a disability and have been my entire life, so obviously it's a different.
It's
different
called being
struggle.
handsome. No, seriously, it does get in the way. Like, you know what? I'm trying to find like a girl who likes you for who you are, and they just keep being like, "Oh, you look so good on my Instagram." Ugh, so annoying.
I'm referring to dyslexia, ladies and gentlemen. It's a serious disability. Shout out adult dyslexics who I'm doing a live talk with next week. That's, yeah.
Ooh, dyslexia. That's going to be a tough spell. Said that already on this.
Yeah, it wasn't that funny the first time.
Is that? Are you doing that for the DNA?
I'm doing it for a channel called Adult Dyslexics, which is like I don't know.
Good for them. But you know about the DNA?
What's the DNA?
The National Dyslexic Association.
Oh my god, I didn't even know about this. This is terrible. Like I'm a registered dyslexic in this country. I should know about this.
Tom, I'm making it up. It's a joke.
Oh, you're a cunt.
It's a
You're
joke.
a dickhead.
But
Because I would have 100% signed up to that.
Because it's
I'm gonna Google if there's a dyslexia charity right now.
Because it's DNA, but it's called it's the National Dyslexic Association because they've got it the wrong way around.
Got it. Yeah.
Sorry, that wouldn't work for the dyslexic audience. Tough crowd.
However, you laugh, but there is the British Dyslexia Association.
Good for them. Good for them. Must be hard giving out their address. But I mean, that'd be good. Well done. What are you saying to them then? Don't worry. I know you can't write down Wikipedia.
I feel like it's like I feel like I'm just gonna have to be like, well, guys, look, you're gonna have to get a job that is absolutely nonsense if you're gonna make it as a dyslexic.
TikTok's easy to spell. Basically the same word twice.
Yeah. You're gonna have to get on some. You're gonna have to get on some kind of social media platform and build a following because you're fucked.
What are you talking about? Visual.
Yeah, all visual. Yeah. Are you thought about becoming artists or dancers? That's another big. That's big for us as well.
But what are you talking? How has this come out? What are you talking about?
I'm just doing like a live talk for on Instagram for adult dyslexics. There's a page. It's a really good page actually. There's like. Talks about like the difficulties and struggles that adults have because like dyslexia, the kind of support for it and the recognition sort of stops when you're 18 and like after uni, if you go to uni you get some support as well. But after that, like when you get in the workplace, like no one gives a shit.
Yeah,
So it's just
fair.
like, there are loads of people who are really dyslexic and like really struggle in offices and like have made loads of balls up all the time because they are dyslexic. And it's like 1 in 10. So
Too
it does
many.
affect
Get
people.
rid of them.
There's
That's what I
Ali
meant.
Woods' leftist understanding right there.
I think actually with dyslexia, is that these people, they sort of need to get over themselves, all right? You know what I mean? Like, you've got straight white men saying,
Yeah.
I'm dyslexic, give me like some sobby cry story, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. Don't care. That's my official response. No, good for you, Tom. Reaching out to the community. That's very nice. I think it's a bit cruel that you've been given such a difficult to spell surname for a dyslexic champion that you are. You should change it to Tom L or something. Just
Yeah.
one.
No, well, also on a side point, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been a regular listener to this podcast, you'll know that there is actually a branch of Mexican Elwises on Facebook. And this week I actually looked some of them up. I put Mexico City and my surname in. There's loads of
Busy week.
There's loads of Mexican. Yeah. There's loads of Mexican.
Someone's rushed off their feet.
Yeah. Work was rough this week. Yeah.
Elwes. So what's going on there? Mexico
There's
City.
lots of Mexican Elwises out there.
Did you reach out to them? Did you go,
No.
hola?
Hola.
You're a brother from London.
From a Mexican mother.
Mother.
Yeah. No, I didn't reach out, but it was what it was. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about a few things on this podcast. The first is, and we have to address it, it's curfew time. It's curfew time. It's 10 p.m. Everyone go home. Shut down. It's shut down. Okay? That is, like Skepta said, get the fuck out. First day of it was...
I love Skepta. He's so good. Did you see him on that channel? It's so amazing.
Yeah, good. It's complete shutdown, ladies and gentlemen. You have to go home. Everyone's kicked out. Restaurants, bars, everything. 10 p.m. You're out of there. However, the first night of it was last night, and a few issues have arisen. The first one being mainly the state of the streets and the tube at 10 p.m. when they throw everyone out. If we're trying to avoid social contact, is a complete piss take because you've never seen so many people crammed into underground carriages in your life.
Third rush hour of the day now, 10 p.m.
Yeah.
People are looking for the next sesh. Is it one of those? Because the thing is, I've had with gigging is that when I come back, you know what it's like. You're coming back at sort of 10:30, 11 on weeknights. And sort of the people on tubes at 10:30, 11 weeknights are either people whose shifts finish late, so people who work at maybe hotels or bars or something like that. But then there's also city workers who've been getting seshed, just like shoveling McDonald's, like a chubby dude in a suit, just shoveling McDonald's chips into his mouth, like in the corner of the tube carriage, like sort of leant against that little rest, just going like that. But is it now
people on dates
just earlier? People on dates as well is another thing you see on the way back.
It hasn't worked out as they'd wanted. They're solo riding home, eating chicken nuggets.
Everyone's been on a date. There's no, but you just see two different times. So there's couples coming back, holding each other's hands on the tube, a bit giggly on wine, and just sort of kissing and stuff like that. And then just you pan left to this bloke with his bottom button. You know when they've got the bottom button undone of the shirt? You're like, how's that come out? But just sort of with his blazer, just garlic sauce sort of almost going on it. All that sort of
it was a real bad date. He probably showed up quite drunk to begin with.
He's one of those. The date was at 7, so he's like finished at 6. He's like, I'll head to the pub before then, just get one in, and ends up having 2 pints and a sambuca shot. She turns up, goes, I don't really drink, and he's like, for fuck's sake,
oh, come on, love. I'll get some shots. Oh, you're not going to have it?
I don't drink either, love. You know what I mean? Anyway, bottle of wine.
Should we get some? No, all right. No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Just the hard stuff.
Well, okay.
Speaking of that, mate, a couple Sundays ago, I had my neighbours. We hung out, which you think is good. Weird for London, and this is why you don't really get to know your neighbours in London. We went to watch some football at 4 o'clock, I think, kickoff, and they were in there, a couple, guy and a girl, and started doing cocaine Sunday afternoon, and then went back to I didn't do anything. Went back to mine, and they were doing coke off the PlayStation cases.
Yeah.
Sunday.
Mate,
That's not for Class A substance abuse. A Sunday afternoon. Sunday, would you have roast dinner with coke? What's going on?
yeah. Okay.
Outrageous.
You're now listening to Ali Woods, the naive leftist cuck. Just
But come on,
drugs.
on a Sunday. But come on now. Look, if they're doing coke on a Sunday afternoon, what are they doing at midnight on Friday? Are they just injecting heroin into each other's balls or something like that? What is
Ali, you've got to understand that people do not lead as exciting lives as you, and they've got to live for that weekend. They don't have the opportunity to get on a mega bus to Norwich for 10 minutes of stage time.
Yeah.
Their life's just not that exciting. So they've really got to cram in the excitement all through the weekend.
But a Sunday, oh come on now. Yeah, I don't understand why people just can't find fulfillment from the Lord. That's what I don't understand. They need to chill out.
You would be really good at Christian comedy, actually. Maybe that's your sort of demeanor.
How dare you? It's like that South Park episode where they're like, we'll never make it as a band, but we can make it as a Christian rock band.
Yeah. You've got that vibe. Like, you'd really do well in that circuit. I really just feel like
I'm far too edgy. Far too edgy for the Christian circuit. Have you heard my latest bit on cocaine?
Yeah. God says no. That's what he says about it.
Have you listened to the Leftist Cucks podcast? It's by that Christian comedian and the dyslexic bloke.
Yeah.
It's not sell for anyone.
Yeah, that's true, actually. We'd be more right-wing if you were Christian. But anyway,
10 p.m.
How do you feel about the 10 p.m. curfew? You feeling stupid and ridiculous idea, or just like they had to do something?
That's what happened, because the medical blokes, Chris Whitty and the other dude, came out and were just like, we can't continue like this. We can't do it. We have to do something now. We don't know what that thing is, but we're going to do something. And then Boris was like, I don't know. Let's shut the pubs a bit early, shall we? Everyone get a good night's sleep, and that'll get you away from Corona. It was amazing.
Come on.
I'm a big Manchester United fan, as I mentioned, and my club is run shockingly, and it was mirrored in the way this country is run. There was like lots of expensive research and really, really high up knowing people in this.
That's good English, mate.
All right, I'm not
high up knowing people.
I'm not asking you to spell it for me. Knowledgeable. That's the word I was looking for. Knowledgeable. You know these knowing people. That's conspiracy. Now we're going to conspiracy. He's a knowing person. He's a knowing person, and you know what that means? You don't, because you're not a knowing person.
Oh, I've got such a good thing about conspiracy theories. Really quickly. I was in an Uber, right, and when I was in the Uber, I was having a chat. Obviously, conspiracy theories are rife around Corona, having a little chat. And I was like, some of them you possibly might get on board with or whatever. And then this Uber driver really
started the chat? Is it you? Was it you?
No, we were just chatting about Corona. And I if people have got conspiratorial ideas, I'm fully involved. I'll hear them out, right? And then it got weirder and weirder. And then he was just like, we're talking about Corona. And he goes, but you know what the real elite are doing? The real actually at the top, and he was like deadly serious. He was like eating babies. And I was like, whoa, we've gone off a cliff edge.
As he's indicating for a left turn, you know what? Spinning the wheel around really casually. Eating babies. You must. What did you say to that?
I was like, that's interesting. And he was like, I don't want to. Tell me if I sound crazy, but like I've seen some stuff, I've read some stuff, and like it's the elite. Like you think you're giving your kid up for adoption, seen it as well. It's like you think you're giving your kid up for adoption, but really satanic baby eating at the top. That's it. That's what everyone's up to.
Jesus Christ! He said, "Tell me if I'm being crazy," and you were like, "No, mate, no, I can see it. I can see it." You can't get an argument with the cab driver. You can't be like, you're a fucking mentalist, mate.
He'll accuse me of being a baby eater. I've got.
What does he see? What does he see in the back of his Uber? Like the same bloke eating the McDonald's coming in with a freshly born kid. I'm never getting Corona.
It's the baby eating. It's just. It's only going one way.
What did
Anyway,
you
back to
what did you return with? Did you say, "Oh, you think that's crazy, mate? You think that's you should see that? What's
oh,
happening with this
mate,
one?"
mate, I'll send you a link on Facebook,
Yeah.
and I'll show you some things. I will
Ginger
show you some
people,
things.
you know they're
Yeah,
dragons, right? You know they're
yeah.
dragons.
Mm. I think there'd be something less cool than that, like guinea pigs or something. Yeah.
That's government testing on guinea pigs, mate. Honestly,
Yeah.
mate, go on YouTube. I remember in a conspiracy theory discussion with another comedian, and he was like, "Honestly, mate, there are YouTube videos on this."
Yeah. As soon as someone directs you to YouTube or Facebook or a news source that is not reputable in any single way, I'm just like, no, I'm done. I'm out. I can't. No, thank you.
So my point on that was on the 10 p.m. curfew thing was that it was an absolute breakdown of management. It was just these incredibly experienced, knowledgeable people saying, "Look, we're fucked if we don't do something." And then we were like, "What should we do?" And they were like, what they want to say is, fucking no one do any of this shit. Just stay at home and just stop spreading this virus.
Yeah.
But then, the government have got to come in, and they're like, well, we can't lose the economy. So, any ideas? It's almost just like, shall we try closing baths maybe 2 hours earlier? And then 3 hours of a meeting later, they're like, let's just go with that original point then. Let's get it out. Okay, everyone get your shandies in early and go home. That's basically it.
Basically, what they're going to need to do is get a sort of suggestion box outside of number 10, and everyone can drop off.
Some competition winner. It's like those, remember those children's TV shows where they were like, everyone send in your ideas for like an invention, and the best one will make. And that's how government is run.
Yeah, and but for saving lives, it'll be interesting.
Well, Boris might have gone up and gone, and we've got this wonderful new initiative from Kirsty in Dundee, 9 years old. Close the bars earlier. 10 p.m. is way late. I've never stayed up past then. So jobs are good and off you go. British mentality.
Ryan from Basingstoke reckons that we should all just say fuck them. If you're old, you're dead to me anyway. And that's what he reckons.
And he's drawn a lovely picture there with his grandma and with a Colin Crossbones because she's dead, and him and his mates playing football.
And drinking pints in the pub.
Drinking pints in the pub, yeah. Mate, but what do you think of this? Someone said this to me, like unis just being these bubbles where they're like, look, we're going to have a uni experience, but you can't see your fucking nan. Like, just stay here on campus and we can do what we want.
Have you seen that he's not ruled out not letting kids go home from uni for Christmas? They have to be like, like in World War II, they all got sent off. Imagine that.
To the countryside.
Can you imagine? Yeah. Can you imagine uni students who was like, that would be a real like Scrooge moment, just being like, guys, I'm really sorry, but you actually can't come home for Christmas. You've got to stay in your halls.
Yeah, but I don't know. I suppose those enjoying themselves would have a whale of a time, but those other ones weren't. I was actually on a uni campus last night for the first time in years.
I always thought you were weird. Go on, carry on. Why?
Just looking for dates.
Yeah. Picking up 18-year-olds. What else?
Everyone loves the cool dude who hasn't outgrown uni. Why are you still here? I'm doing my second PhD. Oh, do you really like it? No, mate, just love the sesh. Like,
yeah. So, why were you on a uni campus?
Doing a gig at Brunel University out in Uxbridge. Yeah.
How'd it go?
It was an absolute farce. So
just quick on uni gigs, like they're either really packed and they're up for it, or there's literally 3 people there, but everyone still gets paid anyway. It's a weird kind of.
It was the latter. So I luckily had actually other gig in Ealing, so not far away, which started at 7, so I could double up. I was like, I'm probably not gonna be able to. Uxbridge is so far, but I was able to do it. So I'm coming from Ealing, right? There's a bit of traffic on the bus, so I'm messaging the promoter and being like, I'm going to be there at 8:25. Show's supposed to start at 8. I'm in the middle. So you'd think I wouldn't be on until maybe 8:50, the earliest. But he was like, oh, might be tight. Okay, well, thanks for letting me know and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, what's going on? Are they really, really on it then? Are they really trying to get... But then I messaged the other middle act, Trevor Bickles, very funny man. And I'm like, mate, would you be all right to go on before me? Because then it gives me an extra 10 minutes. And then he's like, give me a ring. Here's my number. So I'm like, ring him. And he's like, And Trevor's from the East End, and he's just like, yeah, I don't know what they're talking about here, mate, because I've got it and there's nothing happening. There's nothing going on. And he's calling me, this is at 7:55. He's like, so I got here. I was like, is there comedy on? Do you know where it is? And the bloke's like, is there comedy on? so eventually I find someone who's like, oh, it's in the tent. It's in the tent today. So I get to this tent, right? There's no one fucking here. There's no audience. No audience. And this is 5 to 8. It's supposed to like, no audience. There's no comedians. I don't know what's going on. So I wasn't too worried, mate.
Yeah.
So I eventually get there at 8:25, sitting with a couple other comics now. We're just sitting inside. The show hasn't started. It's supposed to start at 8, starting a bit later, waiting for the crowd to build. Apparently,
right, momentum.
Yeah. Apparently, they've overbooked. There are too many things on campus that night. So right. we were being our audience was getting slashed by the cheese and wine nights.
Oh, the cheese and wine night, and also what they had like one of S Club 7 DJing. Can't compete with that. Can't compete with that.
They would have loved that, I bet.
Yeah.
It was actually an outdoor cinema of Jumanji 2, the next level.
Can't compete.
Which had a big crowd.
Yeah, big crowd.
So we eventually end up performing to 20 people in this tent. No breaks. We start at 8:45. Got to be done at 10. So there's no breaks.
How many on?
There's MC, opener, 2 middles, and a closer. Closer's Jeff Norcott. Gets to 9:30. He's not there. So then people trying to find where he is. Turns out he's got the wrong day. So he thought he was on tomorrow. So the promoters haven't even checked with the comedians, like just to check that you're still on for performing tomorrow or whatever, or tonight. So then fair play to Aideen McQueen, who was MCing, who she just did 20 minutes at the end. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
great.
And then wrap
Everyone
up and see you
got
later.
paid. All good. Uni gigs.
Jobs are good. But yeah, that was my uni experience. So maybe that's what the uni bubble is going to be. It's just getting comedians in to perform to tents to no audience.
I found the more remote the uni, the better. I remember doing one to a veterinarian college, literally in the middle of driving way out, and they were just so thankful to have something going on campus that it worked out okay.
That's mad, man. That is mad, because you do wonder when I've had that gig before, when it's like, it's like, where's the gig? Colchester. Oh, okay, I know Colchester. It's like, are you driving? No. Right. Okay. We'll try and get a lift for you, because it's about 35-minute drive from Colchester Station. Like, that's not Colchester, bruv. You're going into fields. I remember Rob Beckett was talking about it on the Jonathan Ross stand-up show, which again, we're still waiting for the phone to ring on that one. But it's good to see everyone I gigged with on yesterday have all done it.
Perfect.
But he was like, you go out into these fields, there's not even animals anymore. They're not there. You're like, who's? And then you go to Village Hall and suddenly that's packed. Who the hell knows who these people are? But they're delighted to just see you from. Oh, he's from London, are you as well?
Oh, you better be funny. You better be funny. Better be a funny boy.
What do you think of the 10 p.m. curfew then?
I think that, what do I think of the 10 p.m. curfew? I think that it will last about 2 weeks. I'll take bets if you want. I'll give you 3-1 on Christmas being cancelled. And I think that the curfew will last, about 2 weeks before they go into a much harder, stricter lockdown, because it's just not going to affect anything.
I don't know if so I'm a bit of a connected man. So I get these BBC News alerts. Don't know if you know about this, but come up on my phone. But I keep seeing a news alert come up, and it says tighter restrictions to be enforced, and I'm like, here we go. And then it says in Cardiff, Swansea, and Loncliffe or something like that, and then it'll be tighter restrictions to be enforced. Oh, here we go. This is it. In Dundee, Aberdeen, and across Scotland, and England are just like, let's leave, especially London. They're just like, let's let them get on with it.
Work from home. Settle.
Work from home if you can, but also, go out and buy things and just go to restaurants and bars. And Don't be a dick about it, you know what I mean? Like, don't be an idiot. Don't be coughing all over the shop, but, I'll just have a good time and just spend some money.
I do on the economy thing. I've got some understanding, only because if they shut the whole thing down again, the loss of life and detriment to people is also terrible. So that is the issue that they are trying to weigh up here. Because if they do shut everything, the amount of unemployment and detriment to the economy will lead to a crazy amount of death. I've seen some statistics of things like suicide and just
It really has been a fun week for you, hasn't it?
yeah, things like so, and also just I don't know. It's such a difficult one because I don't really know if I want to go full out there and just be like, basically, they need to keep it all open and just all people need to isolate.
People need to die,
Yeah.
Some people need to die.
But it's that balancing act of weighing up what the economic impacts will do to individuals and children and things if they shut schools to what the benefit is and loss of life will be from COVID if you keep everything going. So I don't know. I think as long as I'm okay with it, as long as they keep if they can keep schools open for as long as possible, because I think really those kids are the ones that really, really, really suffer if they shut schools. But I'm happy to sacrifice pubs if it means schools stay open. I think anyone who's complaining, being like, "Well, I need my Friday night," is just a bellend.
Yeah, no nightclubs, just schools.
Yeah, I think schools have to be the very last thing to shut.
What about a school-themed disco?
A school-themed disco. What about if people have their night out in schools after the kids have gone home? What about that?
Schools open 24/7 for everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They have school in the morning, in the afternoon. Then it becomes a restaurant, then a bar, and then a nightclub. Kick everyone out for 3 hours to clean up. Back to it.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that's my stance on it. I'm happy for them to shut everything and for lockdowns as long as they can keep some schools open, because I think that is important. And I think that, yeah. But saying that, there's so many teachers now, and thank you to all the teachers who have commented underneath my sketch about how they've literally been dealing with what I did my sketch about, which was if one kid gets sick in a class, that's it. The whole class is isolating for 2 weeks and going home. So it's just nuts.
Just focus on the podcast for now, Tom. That would be good.
Yeah.
If we could have 5 minutes outside of TikTok, that would be lovely.
Yeah.
Well done on those teachers. That's good.
Well, what's your take? What's your take?
The thing is, I'd sort of, as much as it pains me to say, I do sort of agree with you. Like, there still needs to be industry. People still need to have something that gets them the money that they can buy food with. We can't all just move our content online. You
literally can't all be TikTokers. That's not a viable business plan.
It's just as much as I would love that to be the case, guys.
In that suggestion box outside number 10, I did TikTok and me holding a bag of money, and I was like, guys, this is perfect.
Done. TikTok plus bloke equals bloke with money.
Money, yeah.
As much as it pays me, you can't. So there does need to be. The sadness for me is that when we had the opportunity to be proper strict in February, March.
No, we fucked it. Yeah.
We fucked it then. You see, because that's the great thing about coronavirus, which is not starts the sentence that a lot of people say. But when it comes to judging how your government has done, there's a lot of A/B testing. You can literally say, how good has this country done? This country, this country, this country. So it's not a case of like, well, we had different circumstances. We did have different circumstances. Our circumstances were better. We had loads of warning as it was slowly making its way west, and we're an island. We could have been New Zealand. But then, you look at places like New Zealand. You look at places like Germany, and this is only from my obsession with football, but they're letting 10,000 people back in the stadiums to watch football because they're at that point of the coronavirus curve. They've helped that much to stem the tide that they are now opening more things. Whereas because we were in this halfway house of, well, it's okay, let's not have a lockdown in February or March. Okay, no, late March, right? Okay, fine. All right, let's do it now. And then it was like, well, go to work, but sort of don't. And you can leave your house, go shopping, and there was all this just halfway out. And that's when it really we could have done a lot more in February, March, April, May, to then at this point be like, we've actually really stemmed it and we could manage it more. But now I'm afraid that we've sort of fucked it, and
Well,
we will
we did get
have
ourselves
to.
with the lockdown. We did get ourselves down to very, very minimal levels. So, but now it's like, okay, government, this is your
But people
time to
won't
shine.
do that
If you are
again.
going to, yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. Well, because
We weren't strict enough. I think we could have really,
Mm.
and we could have stopped as many cases coming in as well earlier. If we'd have done this sort of stuff in February, March, we could have.
Nah, but obviously we all need to go beefer. Like, if we didn't have any summer, it would have been shit. Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm talking as someone who did. I went on holiday,
yeah.
and it was all fine for me. And yeah, I mean, also we're just waiting on a second vaccine. There was a good article on the FT. I know I read the FT. Can you believe it? I'm so fucking smart. That about when a vaccine will come out realistically, and it's really a great article. I'd recommend it. But it's just saying that it could be anywhere from late October to middle of next year, basically, when it will become available. So you could see something come out and
Wait, you're saying
really change things.
late October, as in this October
Yeah,
coming?
because there's loads.
No.
Because no, that's as optimistic as it gets. So it's anywhere. So it's like a 9-month period. So anywhere from late October to July next year, it could come out. That's the most pessimistic is mid next year, and the most optimistic is the idea of doing it like sort of in a month's time, because that's the thing. There's been so many of the world's resources being invested into this. Now, the other thing is distribution, and but this country has actually spent a lot of money owning a lot of coronavirus. See, that's what's quite a good thing about having sort of like an evil sort of people running your country is that with shit like this, we're actually quite in good stead now if a vaccine does get produced in the next 6 months, because we've paid more than any other country in the world to own vaccines. Like, it's fucked, mate. Because there's a good graph in the article where it shows like money that's just been donated just to fund the research, just to help, and money that's been paid to fund research, but being like, when you get it, we're having it. And we've spent the most in that department. So that's what's quite a good evil. But the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation have just spent money donating to causes and stuff like that. Now, this is what I was having an argument with that coronavirus conspiracy person, that comedian at that gig, because they were like, you know why they're paying that much? Because they want a vaccine. They don't want a cure. They're holding back the cure because they want us to pay. So Bill Gates, famous evil man Bill Gates, that's what they were thinking. So we're in a position, because we fucked it so much, they've clearly spent a lot of money on like, we need a fucking vaccine as quick as possible. And that would just stop symptoms and stuff, basically, and stop like it being spread as much, but it doesn't cure it. It's not a cure, whatever. But that could change things. But otherwise,
I'm saying
tight
the actual,
restrictions.
I think maybe I think the actual implementation of the vaccine and giving it out to the entire British public, I'm saying this time next year.
I think it could be earlier. Mate, I'll send you read the article, man. Because the thing is, the difference with this is that it's not just based on one guy. The whole world has been focused on this for 6 months. It's really weird, but like, there's been so much investment and pooling of resources to create. There's like 9 leading places that are close to finding vaccine. They're all they're in series 3 testing. But obviously, also, these things have to go through so much testing, because you can't, mate, fucking I Am Legend, bruv. You know that film where this starts off and she's like, I found the cure for cancer, and then everyone's a zombie. That's long, but that would be an appropriate sequel to 2020. You thought 2020 was bad. 2021, Rise of the Immortals. just like
anti-vaxxers being like, I told you.
Yeah. But that's what they'll have a field day. So obviously, like, the thing is, these things need to go through so much testing. But they're in Series 3 testing, which is really far along for testing of medical stuff.
What I'm trying to get
think
at,
it'll be maybe next year.
Gun to your head, Edinburgh Fringe. Is it happening? Is it not happening?
But with Edinburgh, right, I think that will happen, because it's like the mayor in Jaws. You watch Jaws? Where they're just keep it open, roll up, open for business. Everyone come down, safest place in town. And then it's like, Edinburgh Fringe causes 500%
spike in Edinburgh.
coronavirus.
Yeah, I just can't see it happening. I mean, maybe if there's a vaccine that's rolled out and given to everyone, but I don't know. I think it would be.
But Edinburgh is exploitation city, bruv. They don't give a shit. They were like the last thing to close out.
Yeah, it's true.
The
It's
summer
true.
events.
The Olympics went first. Like,
but they were like, but we can't lose the Fringe.
yeah. The Olympics that literally cost like £3 billion to put on. They were like,
the Euros, the Olympics, the Fringe, which happens every year. They were like, we can't. You can't expect us to close the Fringe. And everyone's like, yes, you will. And they're like, okay, fine. Okay, fine. We'll do it this year, but we're not doing it next year.
It's happening next year.
It's going to be next year. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be so much bigger. There's so much talent that needs to be showcased. And everyone's like, yeah, but isn't the talent being showcased online? Oh, I know, but it's not real. It's not the Fringe, is it? It's not the Fringe, you know. But wasn't the Fringe, wasn't this Fringe this old thing that used to happen on the fringe of the city, which was really cheap, and now it's this really expensive commercial venture? No, it's not. It's the Fringe. Come down, one and all. It's where comedy happens at £15 a ticket.
Yeah, literally 15 quid a ticket. Like, oh fuck me. Well, maybe the Fringe will happen, but hopefully in London. Let's start in London.
Well, I mean that's been a long time coming. All the London acts going up to it. But the other thing is, I'm technically still I've still got a room and time for next year. So.
Good luck. Yeah. Good luck, mate.
And the production company I'm with won't name any names, but
it's going ahead.
They're not the first ones to be like, "Oh yeah, sure, no, here's your money back. Let's just."
That is going ahead, whatever happens. You'll be the only shows in Edinburgh that are like, no, we're still going.
It's perfect because now we're the only show, so we'll get all the audience. But people aren't allowed to leave their homes. We'll do it in their homes. Got to think outside the box.
Door to door, mate. Door to door. You got to get around.
Get reviewers in. Perform to the reviewers' homes.
Yeah. Christ. Okay. Well, we'll see. We will see. I just can't, like, all I know is shout out my cousin, who hopefully will be going to the Olympics. He is they're going to put the Olympics on at massive cost. So they think it might cost like hundreds of millions to do, but they'll be, what they'll do is they'll keep all the athletes isolated 2 weeks before, and they'll be like testing them, and then they'll keep them isolated to and fro events, and the Olympic Village will all be heavily controlled. The Edinburgh Fringe are not going to do that for fringe acts. That's not.
No. There's about 10,000 rooms in that Fringe that desperately need air conditioning. And they've been like that for 30 years.
You'll die of mold poisoning before.
That's the only thing going for them. They're like, well, this, you were going to die of something before. That thing of like, I've got the Fringe flu. I'm a bit down. I've been performing 3 times a day for 2 weeks. And then we're like, no, you're just going to die now. That's it. That's it. You got it. You're done. You're dead.
You're done. Yeah. Also, it's just like, if there's say like one act gets it or something in the Fringe in like Brooks Bar or one of the performer bars, there's no way they're shutting any of that shit down. It's not like, oh, well, someone's got it, we got to shut it. It'll be like, no.
They'll cancel one show of theirs. They'll be like, one show to recover, but then you better be back on that fucking stage tomorrow, mate.
It's so true as well. Literally, he's like, it's taking 2 days off for Corona, but then he'll be back at it. Don't worry.
Then he'll be back. Even better. He's been writing in his bed.
Jesus. But those are the things you genuinely have to worry about. Like, one person gets it. Like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. Right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been All I Do Is Fail. Thank you very much for listening. I've been Tom Elwes. You can follow me at all good social media platforms.
Ali Woods Gigs. Check out my YouTube. I'm starting posting regular stuff on there, so check it out. Just Ali Woods on YouTube. I've got 20 subscribers now, so
big time, Charlie.
Yeah, exactly. And also, as we say every week, donate $5 to the Patreon every month, and you get an extra episode coming at you. It will normally be on Tuesdays. This week's was delayed for various reasons, including our incompetence, mainly our incompetence. But if you just $5 a month, that's it. It's like £4 a month. £1 a week, less than that, then you can get an extra episode every week come out to you on Tuesday. So donate on the Patreon if you want more from us.
Do it, guys. All right. See you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.